Well, my story happened about 1979, 78, 79. So that was a long time ago. And I was living out in the state of Washington, and out there they have really high hills, and then they have high hills. And I had just dropped off something at my sister-in-law's upholstery shop, and I had my little, I think he was about 9 months old, my son Corey, in the car. And I put him in the car, and we were in a little car about this size. And we were driving up a hill. And before this, I guess I should back up. When his father had got the car, there was an air in the line, which means sometimes when you put your foot on the brake, it doesn't stop. But he assured me that he'd gotten that air out of the line so I could drive it. So this day I was up on top of the hill, and I realized when I went to brake that it didn't brake. And I probably should have just right then and there just pulled up the emergency brake and stopped, but I didn't. Well, I got down, I started going down the hill, and I knew what was at the end of the hill. Do you know what a T road means? When a road comes to a T, like when you come out of your church, can you go straight, or do you have to turn one way or the other? You have to turn, don't you? Well, at the end of the street, I had to turn. And this was before Jesus Took the Wheel song came out. And at that instant, I shifted down to second because, I was getting to the end and I knew I had to do something. And this car doesn't have the fancy power steering wheels like we have today. It was like you had to really crank it to turn. And at that instant, I realized I had not buckled my son into his seatbelt in his car seat. So I'm putting my hand here, I've got my hand here, and I just said, "Angels, you take the wheel," because there's nothing I can do. And we went sliding across the road, and we turned right, and then we slid across between two boulders, and we flipped about at least 2 times because his window, when I looked at it, when we landed upright, his car seat was just full of glass, and he wasn't in it, and I didn't know what had happened to him. And I just, for one quick second, I just panicked, and I thought, where could he have gone? Because this little car, you can't get out too much. It's just, you're there. And I looked down, and he was laying between the steering wheel and my lap. And it was just such a God thing that he protected us, because, everybody started coming out of their homes because they thought they were going to come to find a big mess. And we just both walked away from that accident. I had the biggest bruise on my leg that I've ever had in my life, but, and he was a little lethargic, but we took him in and everything was fine. So God protected us. And I just want you to know that sometimes things are going to happen to you, and you're not going to have a long time to pray, but you can just say, "Dear Jesus," or "Angels, take the wheel," and they'll be with you, and he will watch over you because he promises that he's going to do that for us. Thank you.
Amen.